How's it going, everyone? A bit of a different vibe today as I'm out in my shed. But actually, if this video goes over well, I might just start doing all my reactions out here. I don't know, I just personally really like the vibe. I like the fresh air, especially now that the weather's getting warmer where I live. I really enjoy just being out here. I love listening to music out here, so I thought, why not try and do my videos out here as well? If it goes over well, I guess this is just a test run. Either way, today I'm here to react to the new Rx Papi album. I forget what it's called. 100 Miles and WALKIN. I don't really know much about this guy. I don't think he's very big. I think he's just now, starting to gain a bit of traction in the underground. But I've heard this thing hyped up from a lot of my friends. I've seen lots of people saying that it got some really great tracks on it, that it's a really good project overall. And, there hasn't been really much coming out lately that's really piqued my interest. I've mostly been listening to older releases, personal favorites, hearing some classics for the first time, stuff like that. I haven't been listening to many 2021 releases, and I've been really wanting to do a lot of reaction videos. I've been in the mood to be making them, but there's just been nothing coming out that I've really wanted to react to. But, hopefully now that we're getting into spring, releases will start picking up. But either way, I still wanted to give this a reaction because, like I said, I'm interested in it, and if it's great, then hey, it'll be one of the first albums I've loved in 2021. So without further ado, I'm going to let this thing play, starting off with track 1 called A Man Apart, Intervention.
Mama say I'm spitting next to my daddy down. I know she wish she never had. They had faith in me when I started rapping. My mama kicked me out, she chose love over me. Didn't wonder why I don't put her before the street showed me everything I need to see. I seen my daddy on the concrete. That line about how his mom chose love over him, so she wonders why he chose the streets over her, that was some pretty heartfelt and personal. He's getting really introspective and deep right off the bat. I'm 30 seconds into this thing, and he's already told me half his life story. But I really dig that. I dig the more personal direction. Already he's proving himself to be someone whose lyrics are going to be something to watch out for. I'm really digging the beat. His flow is smooth as fuck. Like I said, only 30 seconds in, but the 30 seconds are looking promising. Go to sleep nowadays, I see boo talking to me in my sleep. Ain't nobody gonna love me like you love me. I was dirty as shit back in 33. I was love him when he was good. My mama said, baby boy, you stress too much. Just like your dad, you do too much. But whatever a nigga do is never enough. They don't even know what the fuck I be doing. Trying to change everybody's life with the music.
I love this fucking sample. This guy is rapping his ass off. I don't really know what else I could look for as a hip-hop fan.
Get better in due time. I hope it do happen in due time. Before I get locked and have to do time. Give me like Outcast wanna single me out. Rx.
That first track was fire as fuck. I really especially liked, all the shit he was talking about. About his family. He talked about, his grandma, his aunt, his mom, his dad, his cousins. He was talking about pretty much all his family relations, it seemed like, and talking about a lot of the drama he's had there. A lot of the relationships for him, clearly haven't been good. His mom kicked him out. He said his grandma was lying on him. So, clearly he can't really trust these people like you usually should be able to with family members. So he got really deep and personal on that track, and I really respected that. It made the lyrics engaging all the way through. Like I said, love the beat. So great intro. I'm really excited to hear the rest of the project now. This track is called Rush Hour.
I was with a bitch like mystical. That nigga don't sell dope, that's fiction. Things go wrong, get rid of you. I was at home like I was singing. I need you to be right. I'm not drinking over in the city. I'm off the click for the business. I tried to fuck. Never a low down, dirty shade. Big ass bill on the nigga brain. Don't look like I'm playing game. I pulled over and happy for my name. I ain't fuck, I told him John Wayne. The only time I heard about him. These niggas broke with all kinds of problems. Still broken Robert's baby mama. Hooking this bitch like a brother on the rain.
That track really switched things up from the first song. It wasn't nearly as introspective. It was more so just him having hilarious bars. There was a ton of quotables in there. As you saw, a bunch of them were cracking me up, so he definitely has a really good sense of humor too on this track. The beat was super rambunctious. The 808s just felt like they were stampeding over me. Super hard hitting, and Rx Papi definitely brought the energy to match it. He gave us 2 different flows and deliveries. He started the track with this more low, booming voice, and then he switched into this more off-kilter flow that almost reminded me a little bit of G Herbo. But the song was fire. He's 2 for 2. Let's move on now to Money Rag. This one got a little bit more of a trippy sounding beat already.
Like that, what the fuck is the difference? I'm everything them niggas is. I got a white leg, look like Limp Bizkit, giving a robbing and buy rob, so hair on the help my mom with Billy. Once did they ever ask how I feel. Wish I could tell you what happened in that film.
I love those really radiant, ethereal synths that gave the track such a mesmerizing vibe. Rx Papi on the first part of the song definitely molded his flow to be a lot more mellow, and it was a lot more kind of in sync with the beat. He did switch to an aggressive flow, but it still worked with the song for me. So yeah, another track I really enjoyed. This thing is killing it so far, and now we're on to a track which is called Terry, which the first like millisecond of it played for me, and already based off that, I'm super hyped to hear it. Oh my god, that beat is so good.
I get pulled. Good at the whip, but you're not getting pulled. I shoot better than Pierce Paul. AR bigger than Paul Gasol. Chris Brown, knocking wall to wall. Back like a 5-star restaurant. I got more kickback than LeBron.
More kickback than LeBron, baby. I don't know what I can really say that my reaction probably doesn't convey. You know, I'm loving his bars. I think his lyrics across this album have been great all the way through, whether he's talking about some more personal shit or whether he's just giving hilarious lines. There's been tons of quotables on every single song, which is always a plus for a hip-hop record, as long as they're quotables for the right reason and not because they're, you know, garbage bars, but whatever. And the beats, I mean, no, they're not, I guess, breaking boundaries or anything, but they're all really well made. They're all hard as fuck. The production to me has just been stellar up to this point, so I am loving this thing so far. I'm going to be playing the shit out of this thing if, you know, the rest of it keeps up this consistency. But I guess I shouldn't jinx it, because I've said that in some videos, and then the rest of the album has turned out to be not the best. So hopefully this isn't one of those. But either way, the next track is track 5, and it is called Open Fire. This track is called Yuck. That's real shit. This one is Sanctioned. There was this glowing celestial aura that permeated through that entire song, that along with the drums, which were super colossal and daunting, it just gave the track overall such an epic feel, as RX gave us more of what he's been giving us the entire project, and I am not complaining about that. You know, if you're not into this style of music in general, yeah, you probably won't like this project because it's really giving you mostly one sound throughout the entire project. You know, he's shown off a bit of diversity when it comes to his flows and his beat selection, but you are getting, you know, pretty much a consistent, hard-hitting, in-your-face, really aggressive delivery with equally aggressive production behind it, just creating an absolute storm of energy. So for people like me who are into this style of music, this guy is doing it so fucking well. I mean, I don't know if this is his debut project or what, if he has other albums. I'm definitely gonna have to check them out after this. But yeah, he has been killing this project so far. We are, I think, 7 tracks in, and I've really liked everything I've heard so far, so I expect Westside Benji to be no different. This beat has a Chicago drill vibe, but I really dig it. This is I Got a Show Tonight. Both of you niggas feel the drum. It's no rules, the niggas don't got morals. They in the house if this not for you. Say yo bitch like, hey yo bitch. The house in the corner, they ain't on time. We sticked up cause we on time. I'm not really saying much about these songs now because I just feel like everything I've already said about the album is still applying to these songs. You know, if it differentiates from that, whether it becomes better, worse, or just, you know, different in some way, but it's still equal quality, you know, not necessarily better or worse, but you know what I'm saying. If there is a noticeable change from the common trend, then yeah, you know, I'll remark on it, I guess. But otherwise, you know, I'm just going to enjoy it because I am enjoying this project so far, just because it's not, you know, switching up radically from song to song. It doesn't mean he's not still doing it at a super high quality, you know, and I've already said that, I guess. So I guess I'm just repeating myself. But yeah, anyways, I'm just saying that, you know, if you're just like, oh, why are you just going through these songs and not really like talking in between them? Yeah, I'm just gonna like enjoy them unless there's something special, or not special, I should even say, but just something, you know, out of the ordinary, or not. I don't just you already know what I mean. This is One Last Dance. I feel like I'm listening to Black Cray with that gunshot sound effect. This track is called East End Boy Remix, and it definitely sounds like it's doing something different so far. This is a lot more melodic and really pretty sounding, honestly, whereas, you know, most of the songs have just been like ragers. Rx was really diving into a lot of his personal demons on that track, mainly about his drug use, really highlighting a lot of the unpleasantness of addiction. So I gotta say, so far I have not jinxed it. We are basically 3/4 done this album. You know, I think we got about 4 tracks left here, and he really hasn't missed. You know, I've definitely liked some tracks more than others, but that's just because I'm human, you know. Even on our favorite albums, we all have our favorite tracks from those too, but like the bass quality, the baseline quality of this entire album has been very good. So, you know, nothing has really dipped below being an enjoyable song. So yeah, I've been really enjoying this thing so far, as has been pretty clear. You know, I think if you've watched the video up to this point, you're like, yeah, we know. We know you have. So, yeah, anyways, track 12 is called Bird Box Part 2, featuring Boldy James, who's one of my favorite rappers out at the moment. He had a bunch of my favorite albums of the year last year, including my absolute favorite album of the year with Manger on McNichols. So, seeing his name on a feature here is definitely exciting me a lot.
Not disturbed. Heard he wanna run with blocks. He must got a lot of nerve. Sliding with his mop. Icy as a bird.
Yo, it's really dope to hear Boldy over a beat like this. You know, I don't think I've ever heard him rap on something like this. You know, I haven't heard, you know, every song he's ever been on, but like, I've heard a lot of his tracks, and I've never heard a verse from him on a beat like this, so that's dope.
All this mouth in his own words. All the tech that we was selling. All the ounces we done served. Took your man, you better slide and get back for your guy. My mama say some cold word.
Yo, my speaker fucking died. Oh shit, good thing I have my charger out here, but damn, I gotta grab that. Gotta come prepared, because, you know, you gotta do it. Back in action, let's do it. On the perks to ease my nerves. In the kitchen, I seen it first. Just call my line when you need to work. 4 or 5, leave a nigga in the trunk. These niggas move like they voted for Trump. I walk in this bitch like the top one.
Dunder Mifflin, this is Jordan.
No, what? What? The Office sample, man. This is Uncle Luke.
I freestyle, but style ain't free. These niggas getting their style from me. Feel like a white boy in Laguna Beach. Got coke residue in a nigga. Up the gun and take a pack from a nigga. Be tough, we stay back, Cause while you on bullshit, I'm on a white cup full of mad. Up the click and put a nigga to bed. I say the word, then they on 10. All the ops can eat day. I got more money than all of niggas.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Dude, this beat is crazy. Oh, it goes so well with these flows. Oh, this has got to be one of my favorites so far. This is, oh, I love this. I don't even know if I said the name of that song, but it was Southside Mike. But holy shit, I think that was my favorite track so far. That sounds like a song that I'm going to play like 50 times over the next 2 weeks. I love beats like that are super trippy while also being just super disorienting and weirdly composed, like it's not a traditional melody at all. It had this fluctuating, almost unstable feel to it, and yeah, it sounded fucking amazing to me. We only have 2 tracks left. First up here is Dead Man's Letters.
Cameras, they dead as a cold. Up to the next room, seen blood on the floor. Looked in the mirror, couldn't even believe what I saw. One thing for certain, it wasn't me at all. They spelled my name with blood on the wall. My mama would tell me to call on the law. I'm alone with my money rag in the raw. And out of consciousness, I'm starting to know. Calling my name, I can still hear him. Said, come to the bathroom, hurry up. Got to the bathroom, damn near threw up. The whole fucking floor covered in blood. I see your arm hanging from the tub. Why the fuck I even had to see what it was? Pulled the curtain back on the tub. All I saw was me in the tub. Beat bloody and fucked up.
That was a super dark and reflective song. He also really showcased his storytelling abilities on that one, because he was kind of describing this really paranoid, maybe drug-fueled episode where he started like seeing blood around his house. You know, he looked in the mirror, you know, and he didn't see himself staring back at him, and then he goes up to the bathtub and sees this body covered in blood, and he runs out of the house and he's so panicked, and then he realizes that the body that he saw in the tub was himself. So, you know, that's when you realize that I guess he's just having, you know, a more paranoid, manic episode, and he says, you know, this is his brain trying to tell him something. So very dark, but very reflective and very well wrapped. And like I said, the lyrics were great. The storytelling was great. You know, this guy has shown himself to be a great lyricist in a lot of ways across the album so far. You know, more content-driven songs like the first one, a storytelling song like this, and then, you know, just he's great at writing individual bars, as he's showcased on a lot of the songs that might not have overall topics or themes. So I'm now on the last track, which is called Your Father, and if it's great, then he's pretty much gone 16 for 16, which, you know, I will admit, like, maybe I'm just, like, not as picky as other people, but I see a lot of people talking about, like, you know, name an album with no skips, like, as if it's a rare thing for an album to have no skips. But, like, you know, I listen to this, like, a shit ton of music. Like, I probably hear, like, 5 to 10 albums a day, but, like, I have probably hundreds of albums that like have no skips for me, because like if someone's good at their craft, then even the deep cuts, you know, there should be a base level of quality, you know, at least that's for me. Like, and if you're someone who loves music, like I love music, then like, you know, why would I hate most of what I listen to? You know what I mean? Like when I listen to shit, I'm looking to enjoy it. I'm not looking to hate it. So like, when you give me a base level of quality that's as good as this project here, it's not anything I haven't heard before in terms of the style, but you don't need an album to be experimental for it to be good. I mean, you know, that doesn't make any sense. If this guy is just doing his style as well as he's doing it, then I don't see why, you know, someone like me who's a fan of this style shouldn't just enjoy the whole project if, you know, I'm feeling it like that, which I obviously am. So, yeah. That's my little rant there. Just, I don't even know what I really even said, but yeah, last track, let's go.
Yo.
The beats have just been too nice.
Walk in this bitch with a brick of cane. If I get caught, I ain't changing shit. I know loose lips, just ain't this shit. To me, I walk in this bitch like H&D. No, we don't play games, we play for keys. It's rough. I rap shit, I sold all kind of stuff. In the trunk, a nigga that gets stuck.
To me, that was a fire ending to a fire album. I mean, I've obviously really enjoyed this thing so far, and I feel like, you know, if you haven't heard this album, I feel like you can tell from the samples, the little clips, the snippets that you've heard in this video. You know, I feel like you'll be able to tell if this is something you'll really fuck with or not. But if you're the right audience for this style of music, then yeah, I definitely recommend giving this whole tape a listen. You know, don't just hear what you heard in this video. No. Definitely go check the whole thing out yourself. Support this guy here. But anyways, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.